For President Donald Trump, getting U.S. troops out of Syria fits neatly into his America First foreign policy.
But I don't want to be in Syria forever. It's sand, and it's death.
But as the U.S. prepares to draw down, Assyrian Christians fear they'll be wiped out as Turkey eyes a new opening to go after its foe, the Kurds. For Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the timing of an attack on the Kurds is calculated. Turkey is holding local elections this spring when Erdogan hopes to bolster his party's candidates. Aykan Erdemir is a former member of Turkey's parliament and current senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies.
There is no better election campaign than to kind of launch a cross-border offensive in Syria.
In an open letter to the world, Syriac Assyrian Christians write, 100,000 Syriac and other Christians will be killed or driven away if Turkey invades. Turkish jihadists hunted down the Christians and Yazidis of Afrin in northwest Syria. They will do the same again, but at a much wider scale. They're referring to the ongoing cross-border operation into the Kurdish city of Afrin, launched by Turkey in March. And it's not just the Turkish military. Christians fear Turkey's Islamist agents, who have no respect for religions outside of Islam.
Will we see jihadists coming back, enslaving religious minorities, killing them, destroying churches? And it's not just about, not just fears of a genocide too, but we're talking about, Christianity in its cradle, Yazidism in its homeland, being completely destroyed.
It's interesting because just last month, H.R. 390 became law, which says the State Department shall identify threats of persecution, genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes against members of Iraq or Syrian minority religious or ethnic groups. Does that, what's going on with the U.S. and the threat that you've just laid out, does that contradict this?
I think we're sending mixed signals, certainly.
Turkey has a notorious reputation when it comes to religious freedom. In its latest report, the U.S. labeled Turkey a country of concern when it comes to allowing Christians and other religious minorities to practice their faiths freely. What's the solution here? What can be done?
In the Middle East, there's no such thing as vacuum. The moment you create a vacuum, you can be sure that Iran will be there, their proxies will be there. You can be sure that there will be Sunni jihadists there and their patrons as well, and also Russia. One option would be for the U.S. to recognize Kurdistan as a nation. But like everything in the Middle East, Erdemir says that's complicated because large populations of Kurds are spread across a number of countries, including Iran. For now, it appears U.S. policy is putting 2,000 years of Christian history and tradition at risk. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.